Star Wars, the expanded universe. A universe so vast that has over 17,000 characters from various different eras, from Dawn of the Jedi to the Old Republic, to the prequels all the way to the Legacy era. This is the tale of over 17,000 characters throughout the Star Wars universe. This is our first step to a much larger world that exists in the Star Wars universe. This is the story beyond the movies. This is the story of the Star Wars expanded universe. A universe loved by many. A universe that helped shape what this franchise is today. This is their story.
Hey everyone, Darcenova here. This is the final prophecy. We're getting to the end of New Jedi Order. This is perhaps the only book that does not focus strictly on the Solos and the Skywalkers. It's focused on one of the other characters, which it was nice, change of pace. It takes place right after the last book, and this focused primarily on Tahiri, which is probably the first novel I've read that features her as a main character. And this gives some revelations about her Yuuzhan Vong personality. It even explains certain things on whose memories that she was experiencing. I neglected to mention, that in my Force Heretic trilogy reviews, unfortunately. But some revelations about her character and which memory that her Vong self were, and it's a very shocking revelation. I did not expect that coming, and it was a pretty good, twist, honestly. Basically, the plot that's going on is, Noom Onor, who is basically making himself look like the prophet of the Shame Ones, is trying to find a way to regain favor with the Yuuzhan Vong over Samora. Oh god, that's awful. That is an awful way. I think Samura. I some of these Vong names are really hard to pronounce, so forgive me on that. Samura. I'm just gonna call it Samura. Anyway, Samura, and he also He gets Non Neum, which is one of the shapers that helped shape Tiri very early on in the series, like during the first half. So there's some stuff that you learn more about the Vong race, and you also learn something interesting about Somor Samort too. Just a little bit, honestly. It's just how that's potentially their future and why the Supreme Overlord fears it. And also that this is speculation on my part. Those who've already read the series already know this. That it's possible that it could come from the same galaxy as the Yuuzhan Vong, due to the life being not that much older, than their homeworld Yuuzhan Tar. Anyway, there's a lot of revelations does get revealed in this book, and honestly, I felt this was nice. Honestly, for a change, not to have the Skywalkers or the Solos be the primary characters of focus, considering the fact that this character, other than the Edge of Victory duology, and the Young Jedi Knights, Junior Jedi Knight books. She's not featured that much, and I've actually grown to like this character, honestly, because of this book. Of course, I've always liked her, honestly. You can't help but feel bad for her, considering all the stuff that she goes through with the loss of Anakin. Of course, there's also another plot that's going on. Some shit's getting really hard, where the communications with the Galactic Alliance has basically been severed because of the HoloNet, because the Yuuzhan Vong found a way to disrupt it. So, at this point, it looks like we're getting to the climax of this, series. This is the second to last book. Honestly, I probably would rank this as one of my favorites, considering I did not put this book down. When I've read yesterday, I shit you not, I stood up until 3 in the morning just to finish this book. That's how much into it I was. Honestly. It was really that good, honestly. Of course, at this point, if you've read the New Jedi Order series, I'm not going to recommend you to read this, because you're likely going to anyway, because you're going to want to know what happens next. Many things get revealed in here, and it's setting up for the final book of the series, The Unyielding Force, which that will be a review when God knows when I'll review that. But the Final Prophecy, I'd probably rank this as probably one of my favorite books in the series, along with Vector Prime, Star by Star, Traitor, and the Edge of Victory duology books, and along with Balance Point, are my favorite books in the series. We're getting to that point, aren't we? When the series is almost over, we're getting close to its conclusion. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to miss talking about this series, because New Jedi Order, in my opinion, has been a really good series up until this point. Sure, there's been some books not as good as others, such as the Force Heretic trilogy, and maybe the Ancient of Chaos duology, but I relatively enjoyed this series. I felt this was probably one of the best storylines, if not the best storylines in Star Wars that's ever been conceived, and I don't think it will ever get topped. But let's save that for my review of the entire series. That's right. When I'm done reviewing the next book of the series, I'm going to do an entire video dedicated to reviewing the entire series as a whole, and give it a ranking. Now for what I would rank this book. Sorry, I got off topic. I would rank this book classic under my ranking scale. Anyway, this is Darth Novi over and out. If you're still reading this series up until this point, pick this up. You will not regret it. Now, next time we'll talk about the Star Wars Expanded Universe, we'll either talk about the Young Jedi Knight books, or we'll talk about X-Wing. Whatever I finish first. Later, guys.